Once upon a time, there was a wise and kind king who wanted to be the best ruler he could be. He believed that if he always knew the right time to act, the right people to listen to, and the most important thing to do, he would never fail. That's why he always had 3 questions in his mind. 3 questions were: what is the most important time for anything? Who is the most important person? And what is the most important thing to do? So, he sent messengers across his kingdom, seeking answers to these 3 important questions. Many wise men from across the country came forward with different answers. Some said the right time to do something should be calculated as per astrology, while others said the king should plan everything in advance. That would make it the right time. Some believed the king himself was the most important person, while others said the king's advisors were the most important. Some believed the most important thing was war, while others believed it was religion. The king was left confused, unable to find an answer that truly satisfied him. One day, the king decided to go in search of a wise man who could give him the right answers to his questions. Dressed in simple clothes, he set off with a few of his soldiers. As he was passing through a dense forest, he suddenly found a small hermitage and saw a monk digging the soil in front of it. The king left his guards behind and approached the monk's small hut. The monk was an old man, weak and frail, and was digging the ground, perhaps for planting crops or vegetables. The king approached him and asked him his 3 questions, but the monk remained silent and continued digging the soil. The king repeated his questions, but the monk still continued his task, paying no attention to the king, as if he wasn't even there. The king asked several times but received no response. Then, seeing the monk struggling to dig the soil, the king decided to help. He took another spade and began digging alongside the monk. Hours passed, and still the monk did not give any answers to the king's questions. Just then, the king noticed a man running toward them. The man was clutching his stomach. He was badly wounded and bleeding. The king ran to help the man. He cleaned his wounds and wrapped them with his own clothes. He gave the man water to drink and took care of him. When the man had recovered enough to speak, he spoke with tears in his eyes and confessed, "Your Majesty, I was your enemy. When I came to know that you were in the forest, I planned to kill you on your way back. When I was coming to attack you, your guards saw me and wounded me. I ran for my life and collapsed here, but you saved my life. I will always be grateful to you for your kindness. Please forgive me." The king was surprised. Not only had he saved a life, but he had also turned an enemy into a loyal friend. The king then turned to the monk once more, hoping for answers. This time, the monk smiled and said, "See, King, you have found the answers to your questions." The king was confused and requested the monk to explain. The monk started to explain and said, "See, King, your first question was, what is the most important time? The most important time is now, because it is the only time we have control over. You used your time well when I was digging the soil and started working with me, making good use of the present moment. Your second question was, who is the most important person? The most important person is the one who is with you, because they are the ones who need you at that moment. You helped this wounded man when he needed you the most. At that moment, he was the most important person to you, because he was the one who needed your care and kindness. The third question was, what is the most important thing to do? The most important thing to do is to do good, because that is the purpose of life. You see, you used your time well by working with me. Then, you gave importance to the wounded man and helped him by showing kindness. And in doing so, you did a good deed. It also saved your life and changed your enemy into your friend." Listening to the monk's words, the king finally understood their true wisdom. He realized that the present moment is the most important time, because it is the only time we have control over. By making the most of it, valuing the people around us, and choosing kindness through our actions, we can create a life filled with meaning and purpose. If we reflect on our life, we will see that we often forget these simple truths. We spend so much time thinking about the future or worrying about the past that we fail to focus on the present moment. But as this story teaches us, the present is the most important moment in our life, because everything we do or experience happens in the present. If we use our present wisely, we can shape a better future and a better life. Similarly, the most important people in our lives are the people around us, our loved ones. But in the busyness and chaos of life, we sometimes forget to give them the attention they deserve. We get so caught up in work, responsibilities, and distractions that we fail to spend time with them, listen to them, or help them when they need us. But if we neglect them for too long, we may lose them, and by then, it may be too late to make things right. In the same way, we should always try to be kind to the people around us. We never know who might need our help, how much a small act of kindness can mean to someone, or how it might turn out in our favor later on. A single act of kindness can change everything, just like the king's kindness turned an enemy into a friend. If we learn to live in the present, cherish the people in our lives, and always choose to do good, our lives will become more meaningful and filled with happiness.